The world as we know it is ending. Emissions continue to rise. We're approaching a point of no return, and no one is doing enough to solve it. Unquestionably, the bad news is prevalent and relentless. But today, let's focus on some good news. Fossil fuel growth has stalled, and our world's clean energy infrastructure is growing at an exponential rate. Today, we'll highlight some of the key findings from the International Energy Agency's World Energy Outlook report. Firstly, the report predicts that fossil fuels will peak before 2030 and continue a gradual decline thereafter. One of the key indicators of this transition is the decreasing share of these fuels in global electricity generation. Over the past decade, the share of fossil fuels has already decreased from 70% to 60%, and this trend is expected to continue with a further decline to 40% by 2030. The world is at a turning point, and we'll now discuss the key trends that are paving the way for a much cleaner future. One notable transformation is the rapid rise of electric cars. Between 2015 and 2023, EV sales increased by over 2,000%, reaching an impressive 13.8 million units sold. What's more, electric cars are becoming increasingly popular. In 2023, 1 in 5 cars sold were electric. The IEA predicts that by 2030, electric vehicles will account for 50% of new car sales. Of course, for this electric revolution to continue, investments in charging infrastructure and supportive policies are crucial. Space heating is another area where clean alternatives are gaining traction. Heat pumps are replacing traditional fossil fuel-based systems like natural gas. Despite what has been a modest 5% drop in the cost of heat pumps since 2015, sales have nonetheless surged by 225%. Renewable energy is another critical pillar in the journey towards sustainability. Solar, in particular, has witnessed remarkable growth. Capacity additions increased by over 400% between 2015 and 2022. Investment in offshore wind is also gaining momentum, expected to surpass investment in gas and coal power plants by 2030. One of the biggest driving forces behind this transition is the declining costs of these renewable energy sources. Solar and wind are now the most cost-effective options for new electricity generation in most parts of the world. Energy storage solutions are also playing a crucial role. For instance, stationary battery storage capacity has seen remarkable growth, increasing by 2,500% between 2015 and 2022. Moreover, the energy density of batteries has doubled since 2010, resulting in increased driving ranges for electric vehicles. Of course, all of this new electrification and renewable capacity will require robust electricity transmission infrastructure. The IEA estimates a need to expand electricity transmission and distribution grids by approximately 2 million kilometers annually until 2030 to meet the demands of their net zero scenario. Investment in clean energy systems has also seen a steady rise. In 2023, investment in energy systems exceeded $2.8 trillion, with 1.8 of that allocated to clean energy. But this isn't yet enough. To align with the IEA's net zero pathway, annual investment in clean energy needs to reach around $4.5 trillion by the early 2030s. In conclusion, the IEA's analysis shows the world's energy systems are changing at a significant pace, and this offers some room for optimism that, with strengthened policies, increased investment, and global cooperation, the emission reductions we need may not yet be out of reach. The next decade will be crucial, but there's now zero doubt that our future will be efficient, renewable, and electric.